Hello and welcome back to the Sam T. Blues Review. My special guest tonight has been named one of Rolling Stone's 10 new country and Americana artists that you need to know. Recently, her album, Traveling Mercies, was ranked number 21 on Rolling Stone's top 40 country and Americana albums of 2019, and she will be appearing here in Iowa at the Maintenance Shop in Ames. That is coming up Thursday, March 5th, 8 p.m. showtime. I'm talking with Emily Scott Robinson. Emily, how are you doing?
I am doing great. I'm getting so excited to get ready to go on tour and to be coming through Iowa.
You got a little while until the show, because I would have hated for you, because you just came back from the Caribbean, right?
I did just come back from the Caribbean.
Yeah. And now it's like negative 10 out here in Iowa. So
oh, man.
I do apologize for that.
That's okay. I knew it was going to be a bit of a shock to be in the U.S. Virgin Islands 1 week and then 2 weeks later to be doing a giant tour of the Midwest. So,
yeah.
That's
all right.
It's okay.
Did you have a good vacation? I know you lost your phone. Other than that, everything go well?
It was wonderful. I was playing on the Ke Amo cruise, which if people aren't familiar with that, it's like a big folk Americana music festival, but on a cruise. And so I was on the boat with like Mavis Staples, and Jeff Tweedy, and Rodney Crowell, and Lake Street Dive was on the boat, and it was an amazing lineup. And I got to play a couple shows and be a part of some really cool stuff there on the boat, and basically kind of hang out. It's sort of like summer camp for adults who love music.
Yeah, that's insane. Did you get to interact with Mavis Staples at all? She's one of my favorites.
Oh, my gosh. I got to give her a big hug. We were both singing in the Sunday morning gospel show. And so I walked up to her and I said, "Hi, Mavis. I just wanted to meet you and say thank you so much for being such a bright and shining light for all of us in the world and in the music world." And she saw I was wearing this pair of white boots, and she just loved my white boots. And we hugged and we chatted for a little bit. It was super fun. She's incredible.
Yeah, she's great.
She's a legend.
Yeah, absolutely. She's having sort of like a renaissance now. These past few years, she's just been all over the place, which is great for her.
She really has. She's remarkable. And I just love getting to see these artists who have such a long legacy and are so beloved and spend their whole lives making music. And I don't know, I think Mavis is just a symbol of like hope and happiness kind of wherever she goes, and of connection and of community. And so, yeah, it's really amazing to see folks like Mavis just out there crushing it.
So I want to talk about your album, Traveling Mercies. It is phenomenal. Yeah. I've been listening to it all week. It's really great stuff.
Oh, my gosh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Just me speculating a little bit, I think a reason that it's, so successful right now, I think it's because a lot of people can relate to it. It seems like a lot of the songs in there are pretty personal. Is that accurate?
Yeah, they are. So I guess about half of the record, at least half, is autobiographical. A couple years ago, my husband and I moved full-time into a motorhome and started traveling around the country while I started making music. And so all the songs written on this record were written on the road.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of pulled them all together and tied them into this theme called Traveling Mercies. And, really what I've taken away, or that the record is really kind of the full spectrum of emotion and of human experience. So there's like periods of great joy and excitement and hope and anticipation in the record. And there's also sadness and loneliness and darkness built in as well, and then like hope and redemption.
Right.
And so that's really been our experience out on the road, just kind of going through the full spectrum of life.
Yeah. So when you talk about maybe some of the darker, more painful experiences, is that hard to write about, or is it sort of therapeutic?
I would say my instinctive answer is that it's hard to write about. There's some songs that touch experiences or places in your heart that just still feel too painful to talk about or to write about. And so it takes time and distance, I think, from a lot of painful things in order to write about them. I've never been able to write about something until I had some time away from it, some time to heal from it and process it. And then I could write about it. So there's a song on the record that is a song about my experience as a sexual assault survivor. It's called The Dress. Mm-hmm. And that one took me, I mean, it's been 10 years since that happened to me. It took me from start to finish probably four years to write. And so with songs like that, I always just take my time.
I was going to mention The Dress because Saving Country Music named that the Song of the Year last year, which is incredible. Very well deserved.
It was remarkable.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much. It meant so much to me. It was incredible that they did that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that would mean a heck of a lot, a song being that personal to you, being recognized.
It was one of those songs I knew I wanted to put on the album. It was challenging for me to write. It was challenging to record. It's just not easy.
Of course
not an easy song to sit with. And I just thought I would just release it, with the rest of the album. And as we were going through, I was with my team. We were picking which songs to highlight as singles. They said, well, you have to do this song, the most powerful song on the album. And that's the moment when I knew I was working with people who had the same kind of level of integrity and understanding of music as I do. They did not want to shy away from the hard stuff or the potentially dark stuff or the potentially difficult stuff to talk about. They didn't want to gloss over any of that. They were like, you did the work to write this song. It's incredibly powerful. We need to put this forward in the world. And they were right. And so that's really the song that sort of broke the album out into national press. Like Billboard wrote an article on it. And that's when I started to get more attention around the album release. And then the rest of the album came out, and I was like, guys, it's not all sexual assault songs. I was like, there's some happy stuff on there, too.
Oh, there absolutely is, yeah. Because I know when I type up your name, when I was doing a little bit of research, I mean, The Dress is like kind of the top thing that comes up, and it's in all these articles. But, I think it's great that you're getting that recognition for that song, not just for the song itself, but I think for the message. And I think a lot of people maybe have gone through similar things. So the fact that you have this platform and have this song, I think I can only speculate, but I'm assuming that's probably helped a lot of people.
I get several messages a week, mostly in my Instagram DMs, of people who have found that song, and they say to me, like, thank you so much for writing this song. I needed to hear it. Men and women, both, survivors of sexual abuse and assault. And I mean, that's what I do it for. Whenever I get wrapped up in just all the little things that don't really matter that much, I am reminded, I can remember, like, my music is helping people feel less alone, and it's helping them in their healing journey. That's honestly the only thing that really, really matters about music, is that it's a way of us reaching out and saying you're not alone. It's a way of connecting and a path for healing. And so, yeah, it's an incredible privilege for me to be like the carrier of that song in the world, because people come up to me after every show and they thank me for that song in particular.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad of all the good that came from it, but of course I'm terribly sorry that happened to you. But I am glad for all the good things that came on the other end.
White cotton dress, the tied at the waist, bare summer arms, and eyelet lace. Not short and not long, comes down to the knee, on top of the laundry, folded and clean. But I could have sworn that I threw that thing away back in June. Snuck out to the alley and buried it under the trash one afternoon. I can't trust my memory anymore. Was it the dress I wore? Was it the wine he poured? Was there some sign I ignored? Was there even time to run from that storm? I don't cry or go crazy, I just hold my breath. The secret is safe, locked up in my chest. Deadbolt the front door, don't answer the phone. sleep with the lights on, afraid of being alone. And I go back through every detail like a photograph in my mind, searching for what I did wrong. I never find it in time. Was it the dress I wore? Was it the wine he poured? Was there some sign I ignored? Was there even time to run from that storm? To run from that storm. I'm still running from that storm. I'm still running from that storm.
Who are maybe some of the people that have inspired you, either, singers or songwriters, when you're writing your own music?
So in terms of musicians, I'm really inspired by Joni Mitchell as an early and big inspiration for me, and maybe not so much sonically, but just all around creatively. And then one of my big inspirations as well is Patty Griffin. I love Patty Griffin, and I also love Nancy Griffith, who is a Texas songwriter I grew up listening to. Then I also have a lot of literary influences. I'm a big book nerd, and so in the fictional world, I'm really influenced by writers from the South, like Flannery O'Connor and Eudora Welty. One of my absolute favorite authors, who is Chilean, but Isabel Allende, who wrote The House of the Spirits, she comes out with a new book every year, and I always read it. And she's just a master storyteller and creator of fictional worlds, and uses some magical realism in her work, which I like to incorporate into a few of my songs.
Yeah.
For nonfiction, I'm such a huge fan of Cheryl Strayed. She's probably my favorite writer.
So, Emily, I want to thank you so much for talking with me. I really did enjoy it.
You're so welcome. I'm really excited to be coming to the maintenance shop.
Yeah. Have you been there before?
No, I've never been there. I've driven through Ames, but I've never stopped and played a show. So I'm really looking forward to it.
It's a really cool place. It's really small, but in a good way. It's very, very intimate, which I enjoy. I've seen a couple people there. It's really a good place.
I'm so excited. That's where I am best. In places like that. I just can't wait to share stories from the road and songs, and it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, it should be. Again, that is the Maintenance Shop in Ames, March 5th. Emily Scott Robinson. Emily, thanks again.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me on today.
No problem. Have a good one.
You too.
Packed a suitcase, sold the rest. Couldn't wait to leave that town. U.S.